the ocean, Japanese landscapes, and persecution scenes. Silence 2016, directed by Martin Scorsese. In 1633, two Portuguese Jesuit priests embark on a perilous journey to Japan to find their missing mentor and spread Christianity in a land where their faith has been brutally outlawed. This is the story of Silence, Martin Scorsese's epic exploration of faith, doubt, and the cost of conviction. Our story begins in Portugal, where fathers Rodrigues and Garup, played by Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, receive devastating news. Their beloved mentor, Father Ferreira, played by Liam Neeson, has reportedly committed apostasy in Japan, renouncing his Christian faith after witnessing and enduring horrific torture. Refusing to believe this, the two young priests volunteer for a dangerous mission: travel to Japan, find Farah, and continue the underground ministry to Japanese Christians, known as Kirishetans, who practice their faith in secret under threat of death. Japan at this time has closed its borders and begun the brutal persecution of Christians. The shogunate views Christianity as a threat to Japanese culture and order. Anyone caught practicing or harboring Christians faces torture and execution. The priests arrive in Japan with the help of Kikujiro, a troubled Japanese man who becomes their guide. Kikujiro is haunted by his past. He watched his family die as martyrs while he chose to step on the fumi, an image of Christ, to save himself. Initially, Rodrigues and Garup discover hidden communities of faithful Japanese Christians who have maintained their faith for decades without the presence of priests. These villagers are overjoyed to receive sacraments, confess their sins, and have their children baptized. For Rodrigues, this confirms the importance of their mission, but the joy is short-lived. The local inquisitor, Inoue, played brilliantly by Issei Ogata, is a cunning official dedicated to eliminating Christianity from Japan. He doesn't simply want to kill Christians, he wants to break their faith. To prove Christianity cannot take root in the swamp of Japan, when authorities discover the priest's presence, they begin systematically torturing villagers to force Rodrigues and Garup to reveal themselves. Innocent Christians are crucified on the beach, left to die slowly as the tide comes in. The priests are faced with an impossible dilemma: remain hidden and watch innocent people die for harboring them, or surrender and potentially save lives. Garup eventually surrenders when villagers are taken out to sea to drown. In a tragic turn, he drowns trying to save them. Rodrigues is betrayed by Kikujiro, who repeatedly betrays and seeks forgiveness in a complex cycle, and is captured. Now begins his true test of faith. In captivity, Rodrigues is treated surprisingly well by Inoue, who engages him in philosophical debates about Christianity's place in Japan, but the real torture is psychological. Rodrigues is forced to watch as other Christians are brutally tortured, not for his apostasy, but just to make him suffer. The inquisitors explain their method. They don't want martyrs, as martyrdom only strengthens faith. Instead, they want priests to apostatize, which destroys the faith of their followers. Finally, Rodrigues is brought before Father Ferreira, his mentor, who did indeed renounce his faith. Ferreira, now living as a Japanese Buddhist scholar, tries to convince Rodrigues that Christianity cannot flourish in Japan, that the Japanese people do want to understand the true Christian God, but worship a Japanese version of their own creation. But Rodrigues resists, clinging to his faith despite everything. Rodrigues is told they will only be released if he steps on the fumi, the carved image of Christ. Throughout the film, Rodrigues has prayed constantly, but heard only silence from God. Now, in his darkest moment, he believes he hears a voice, Christ's voice, telling him to step on the fumi to ease the suffering of others. In a scene that asks profound questions about faith and sacrifice, Rodrigues steps on the image. He commits apostasy, not for his own safety, but to end the torture of others. Was this compassion or betrayal? Faith or weakness? The film refuses to give easy answers. Rodrigues is forced to live as Ferreira did, as a Japanese citizen, married, working for the government to identify Christian artifacts. He becomes what he most feared. The film jumps forward. Rodrigues lives a quiet life, outwardly Japanese, working to suppress the very faith he once risked everything for. Kikujiro continues to seek him out for confession, suggesting Rodrigues maintains some secret faith. When Rodrigues dies, the authorities cremate him. But as the flames consume his body, we see clutched in his hand a small carved crucifix, the same fumi he stepped on years ago. Did he maintain his faith in secret all along, or did he find a different kind of faith? One that embraced suffering and silence rather than demanding answers? Silence asks profound questions. Is faith only real if it's public? Can apostasy be an act of love? What does it mean when God seems silent in the face of suffering? The film suggests that sometimes the greatest act of faith is enduring silence and continuing forward without clear answers. Scorsese, who struggled with this project for decades, created a masterpiece about the cost of conviction and the mysteries of faith that cannot be easily resolved. Silence is a challenging meditative epic that asks viewers to sit with uncomfortable questions rather than providing easy answers. It's a film about faith tested to its absolute limits and what remains when everything is stripped away. Have you seen Silence? What did you think of Rodrigues' choice? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie recaps and deep dives.